Hello there, and you're very welcome to the Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football Premier League podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon and Hector, as we take a look to see how the managers in this league are performing. There'll be views, analysis, comments, and much more as we wait to see which manager will be crowned the champion. Gentlemen, you join me, of course, this evening. Gameweek 38 is finished. Our season for fantasy football has come to the end. Were we pleased with the final match day, Eamon?
Well, I have to say, I think that it's some of the football, there was plenty of goals, we'll put it that way, and it flattered a little bit. I think that, like all things, they come to an end, but this will be back again. And I suppose we really want to have a look at how our managers in our league got on as such.
Indeed, yes, of course. Hector, what did you think of the matches and the results?
Well, I think that the matches were good. As Eamon says, there was a lot of goals, and the goals came very quick and very fast, and maybe some teams then score any goals and you thought they were going to get the goal. And I think, our managers in our league here, they may be happy with what happened.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll have a look and see what happened. So, we'll start. First place, only the best. Eamon, you have been preaching that this guy was the best manager in the league. He won it. Congratulations to him. And Eamon, you were vindicated.
Yes, I was vindicated. I have said that this guy is good. I have said that he had the ability, he had the audacity, he had the oomph to go and take matters by the scruff of the neck. When things might not have been looking good, when he was down the table, starting off, trying to catch Blightsome and some of these other managers, he stuck with it. And all credit to him.
Yeah, indeed. He got 54 points at the very end. He had two transfers. He brought in Phillips from Liverpool and he put out James, and he brought in Willock from Newcastle and put out Ward-Prowse. Good moves?
Yeah, they were good moves. I think that they, Phillips definitely was a good move, and Willock got a move. I think it was 6 points for Phillips and 8 for Willock. The two guys he put out didn't get any points like that. So, yeah, good move, shrewd move. And that's what this manager is about. He's shrewd. He looks at the players that he wants, the players that he needs, and he goes in and gets them. And that's the sign of a good manager.
Okay, and he had Salah's captain, 12 points.
Yeah, look, take it, baby. Take those points where they come.
Okay. And then, of course, he is number one, of course, in 3 other leagues.
Yeah, he is. And that tells you the quality of the manager here. It tells you how good he is.
And of course, he had 2 weeks on the rise, has a little bit of a dip. It's probably not the sort of form that you'd expect that he would have come back and finished the season on.
No, probably not, no. But I don't think he's going to worry about this too much. As we said, he won this league. He was number 1 in 3 other leagues. I don't think he has a lot to worry about. I think he will be thinking and going to build for next season.
Indeed. And I mean, his total tally was 2,375 points. That's his best. His previous record was 2,232. And that was back in 2010, 17, 18.
Yeah, look, and that's it. He's rising there. And he'll build on that next season, wait till you see.
Right, okay, so we'll have a look then. Second place was Toboggers, and they finished really strongly, 81 points. They had 2 transfers. Kofel came in from West Ham, Fernandez went out, Mane came in for Liverpool, and he put Shaw out. I'll start with you, Hector. Good transfers.
Yes, I think very good transfers. Looking good. But you bring in players who get good, get good points. And that's what it is. Like Eamon say, other managers, they bring in player and, that's what you have to have.
Yeah, of course. And he had Salah's captain as well. And, what do we think about his team overall?
Very good. I think he midfield very good. He have double points in midfield. He also have the Kane and the Bamford up front with more good points there. I think overall he finished really good.
He finished 22 points behind only the best Eamon. It got close and tight at the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, but not enough to reel it in. And I think he'll reflect and probably, we spoke about this before. I think he maybe was a little slow at times. Took a while to get started in this league, and that's not like this manager. He's usually out of the traps very fast, and he's a trendsetter. I think there was a little bit of distraction at times, and he'll go away for the next couple of weeks when we have a break and think about how he was managing at times and where he could improve as such.
Yeah, of course. And he is number one in another league there, and he had 6 weeks on the rise. He's finished on a high, hasn't he, Eamon?
Yeah, he has finished on a high. As Hector said there, some good transfers. And that's what you need, and really good. And look, all credit to him. He did push it as far as he could to get it to the wire. 22 points, not a lot in it. I'd say, chances are if he had maybe a couple of changes earlier in the season, it would have been a lot more tighter.
Yes, okay. And his total tally was 2,353 points. And that's his best since his previous record of 2,260 back in 2018 and 2019. So first and second here so far are pushing it. They are getting the points in.
Yeah, they are.
Hector?
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Hector?
Yeah. I think they do good. They are in the right direction.
All right, okay. Third place was Arkham Avengers. Now they finished 37 points. They had 2 transfers. Grealish came in, ended up getting him 2 points. He put Jota out and he got, was it a point or two here? He didn't really do too much either. And Watkins got 2 points and Calvert-Lewin. His transfers really balanced out. There wasn't much going on here, was there? Eamon, I'll start with you.
No, there wasn't much going on. Pretty poor, shoddy transfer work there. I mean, if you're bringing in players and you're putting out players, you expect the guys that you're bringing in to get more points. Otherwise, you're wasting your time with this transfer malarkey business. But this guy is just, look, he finished in third place. And to me, that is a travesty because this guy, he transfers out players, he transfers players in. Sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing, this guy. I don't think he's not level-headed enough. He certainly hasn't, he had commitment because, and you can tell with a number of his transfers, but he's a liability at times. I mean, some stuff that he was doing in the season, I don't know how he would sit there and reflect on the teams.
Eamon, do you not think that's a little bit hard, really? He did get third place after all.
Well, he did get third place, but as I said before, he profited at the expense of Blightsome squad taking a dip and not being able to recover on that.
But surely that's Blightsome squad's issue if they took a dip. I mean, that's not hardly... You can't credit that to Arkham Avengers that they managed to keep going and get the points.
Yeah, they kept going there. And we'll give him that. They kept going. Okay, he hasn't had a total disastrous season, but he has spoofed. And he is the master spoofer here. He is the panto spoofer of this league. And he is flattering to deceive to be in third place. I stand by it. I think fourth place is where this guy should be. He's not. We can't do anything about that.
Okay, well, look, he went for captain Iheanacho, and that really didn't work.
No, it didn't work. Typical, 4 points. He had no double-digit players. Bamford, strangely enough, who I'm not a fan of either, got him 6 points. This was a weak team. This is a weak team finishing out a season. You want to be finishing strongly. That's what I always say.
Hector, do you agree with Eamon, or what would you suggest, or what would your analysis be?
I think that, Eamon, right, he finished very slow, very sluggishly. I think he'd be very disappointed. But, he is where he got the third place. You can't take that away from him. I don't quite agree with Eamon that he, as Eamon said, he ride on the crest of a wave because Blightsome just was not able to do it. I think he probably had enough experience And I think that is where it comes down to. He had experience. Blytham did not have the experience. They are new to the league. He knew what happens. He knew fixtures. He knew about the chips, double gaming. Blytham may not have that experience.
Okay. That's an interesting point, Eamon. Yeah, yes, it is an interesting point. Hector, I think for once you probably have hit the nail on the head there. The little bit of experience, Camden. Well, he ended up, he dipped this week after having a rise there. Now, he didn't come first in any league. He did come second, although he was 90 points behind first place. His total tally, of course, is 2,203. And this actually beats his previous best record of 2,184. And we have to go all the way back to 2013, 2014 for that. That's the spoofer again. Why are we waiting that long for him to beat that record? Other guys are beating their record that's maybe they said a couple of years ago. As I said, he's third at the moment in this season, and he may take a photograph of that league because he will not be third next season. And I am adamant about that.
Very good. Blytham, we had two new managers joining us, and Blytham is one of them. And Blytham, of course, is our female manager, and we're very welcoming to managers, both male and female. They got 42 points, and they had 3 transfers and lost 8 points. Now, I'm going to you first, Hector. Do you think that was a wise move?
I wonder if sometimes you be so close. Why you do that? But I think maybe they had to have not enough money in the bank and have to do a little bit of jiggling around with players to get the money, and perhaps that mere.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Well, they brought in Fernandez in. He didn't play. And they put out Haves. He got 1 point. Salah came in with 6 points, and Mane went out with 16. And Ray Williams got 6 points, and Alexander-Arnold 5 points. Hector, the transfer didn't work probably the way they wanted.
No, I think no. When you see Mane gone out with 6 points, and I think the fella Alexander-Arnold, he would have stayed. But as I say, I think it's probably down to finances that they had to do this.
Okay, they had Salah as their captain. An issue probably here, would we pick up on a fact here? They had 5 players who managed to get 2 points each, and they had 1 player who managed 1 point. Not exactly the sort of thing you'd want finishing the season. Eamon, is it?
No, it's not. And I think you're right to point out that these players didn't really do the business. Now, but however, having said that, we can't take anything away here. Blytham have done very well. This is their first season, and to be finishing 4th, I think they deserve applause and they deserve praise. They have given this a go from day one, and they have been committed, and you have to respect that.
Okay, very good. They did finish first in another league. Does that show potential, Eamon?
Yes, it certainly does. To finish 4th in this and to win in a different league does show potential. And this manager, she will be back next year, and she will build on the experience.
Okay, and their total tally was 2,078. It's a respectable score, really. Gingerpool finished in 5th place. They had 55 points, and they played their bench boost. And 2 transfers. Foden was brought in, Gundogan went out, and Greenwood was brought in, and Jota went out. Eamon, he played the bench boost. You must be pleased with that.
I certainly am. And, even though some people would say, why play the bench boost at the last hurdle as such? But he played it. And I admire that in this manager. This guy, as I said before, he has the potential as well. And he might have been a little slow to get off out of the traps, and as a result was behind the curve there at times. But he has done really well, and he is to be commended also.
Kane, though, didn't get him any points. Mount got him 2 points. Dallas got him 2 points. Watkins got him 2 points. You'd have to say those players let him down.
yes, they let him down, and that's the problem. Sometimes players get tired at the end of the season as well. Sore legs, sore calf, sore muscle, maybe brain switch off. Sometimes they think finishing line. Pressure get to him. So yeah, that happened at times.
All right. And he's 4 weeks on the rise, so he's finishing really strongly here. His total tally is 2,018 points. Doesn't quite beat his previous best record. He's just short, 2,028, and that's from 2018 and 19, Eamon. Yeah, well, look, I wouldn't be overly concerned or worried about that. He's close. He's there or thereabouts. And again, if some of those players had done a bit of business and scored extra points, he'd have surpassed that. He's finishing strongly. He's one to watch out for next season.
Okay.
Maximum Effort finished 6th. They had 39 points, no transfers. Captain was Jota, which didn't really do. He played all of 1 minute. Yeah, well, okay. We have, for the previous couple of weeks, had concerns about this manager. I think this manager has switched off. He saw the green light for the end of the season and decided to switch off. It was a very mediocre team that was fielded. Nothing really to stand out. Didn't use the wild card. There's not much I can say about that there. Okay, and his total tally is 1,915. Doesn't beat his previous best record of 1,552, and that's 2018 or 2019. He's close enough, though. He's in the ballpark, wouldn't we say?
I don't know. I'm really at a loss as to what to say. I think this manager probably will sit down and have a think about things, and maybe they need just a little bit of invigoration. Hector, what would you suggest?
Well, I think I say before, I think he maybe have to do a bit of, meditation. He will really have to reflect, look deep inside him and see what he would do better. I think I even say, he could play a wild card. He had nothing to lose by playing the wild card, didn't play it. I think that is a loss. When you get that gifted to, you have to take that. And, maybe when he look around at the other managers, he think, I am better than this, and I do better next season.
What a beauty. 99 ended up in 7th, 42 points. They were no transfers either. They had Watkins as their captain. They got them 4 points. Vardy is their best player, of course, got 13 points. Hector, I'll go to you first. This manager has been, as of late, making a spurt here.
Yeah, he do that, yes. But I think, his team again, very average. He had players getting 1 point, 2 point, 3, 4, 5 points. That thing, you need to finish strong. You need to go out at a bang. And he was rising for 3 weeks and he dip. And he used no chips. I am just, I may nearly be speechless, but, I always have words to say, so I have something to say.
Yeah, I tell you something. I have things to say as well, but I'm not going to say them. I thought this guy was going to do better and do more, and he was very close. There was, if I'm right on this, I think there was 33 points between himself and Maximum Effort. He had the potential to take 6th place, and he didn't go for it. This is a guy. There seems to be a lot of distractions going on with managers here and their players. Maybe it's a fallout from the COVID. I don't know what it is.
Okay, and then finally, Mihal's Tiger Tokens, the team that's been on autopilot, 22 points, no transfers. Calvert-Lewin got them 4 points as their captain. Would anybody like to say anything about this team?
Well, I think, he have Kane, he got 10 points, so he do good there. He have 2 players on the pitch who, he fielded them, but they're not selected, so a little waste there. He also have Allison, the goalkeeper. There was 8 points on the bench. Goal waste there. Not much more to say.
Yeah, he had 5 weeks on the drop there. His total tally, for a team that's on autopilot, I personally have to say I thought, this isn't bad. 1,502. Now, he didn't use any chips,
No wild cards used or anything like that. Eamon, you must have something to say. Okay, look, the Tiger tokens arrived late to this league. They were a long time coming, and a long time that's, they didn't feature too much with it. Yes, they put a team in. I think probably a little bit of housekeeping with the team at times might have improved his position. As you say, though, 1,502, he's the second new manager in the league. Look, I hope he will look at this and say, that's not too bad. I left it on autopilot. And there was some weeks he was doing better than maximum effort, which wouldn't have been very hard in my view. I think he probably should take, a little clap on the back for that.
Yes, I think so too. Clap on back. Very good.
All right, okay. Well, I think that's the whole lot there for the moment. And, we will be having a review, a look back in the next couple of weeks about how the managers got on and where we think they might be improving for next season there. And we're also going to have a talk, I think it's next week, our next podcast. We're going to talk about the points and how you can maximize your players to get points. That's right, Eamon? Yeah, that's right. Yes, we'll talk about points. We'll talk about transfers. We'll go a little more in depth into putting your team together, managing your team, the housekeeping that goes on there, what you need to be looking out for as well. Hector?
Yeah, I will be talking about, maybe looking for the foreign players, the good players, the South American players who are lively, active.
All right, okay. Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and it's been a pleasure. Nice to have you here. Hope you enjoyed everything. Hope you're enjoying the crack with the podcast. Yes, very much so. I thought you were going to break out the song about Tina Turner's Simply the Best for only the best. A little bit early in the evening for that now. I think probably maybe a Friday night I might be willing to sing a few tunes there, but I don't want to scare our listeners off just yet, so I don't. Hector, thank you very much. You're joining us. We're going to have Mick is going to join us, and he's going to talk about managing. This would be great. I can't wait for this. Eamon, Mick is always welcome. Yes, Captain Fantastical Mick. Hector, you're waving there. You're looking for attention.
Yes, I nearly forgot. The all in excitement, the football, I nearly forgot. I have to give shout outs there are two listeners over in Scott's house. They are the Owen and the Aiden, and they like the football, and I think they also like big tractors and that, and climbing trees. They're great lads. Hello to Aiden and to Owen.
And listeners, thank you for joining us. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. We will be back next week talking about points into fantasy football. And until then, take care.